So good morning, welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 22 and it's a Sunday yum. And so as I was lying on the floor, I was noticing the ache from some of the movements we did yesterday. And then how do we ground and use the floor as the stabilizing kind of thing in what we do? So come, let's play a bit with the weight of us. So come lie on your back and we shall begin. So lying on your back, your knees are bent. Feet are flat on the floor. And just begin by rocking your knees from side to side. And as you do that, the movement we did yesterday, you may feel it now in the inner thighs and in the pelvis, the groin area. We're just rocking, going slowly, really acknowledging the fact that we used them deeply yesterday and we will use them again today. I just feel that rocking from one side to the other. Nice. Now lift the right leg up so that your knee is directly over your hip and create the same movement again. So you're just rocking from side to side, but now one of your legs is in the air. Notice how that changes your inner thigh. Side to side. Right knee is in the air. My elbows are steady. And it really changes the shape of my pelvis left to right. When I go right, it feels like everything opens and widens. And when I go left, everything narrows and shortens. Notice the difference. Nice. Other side. Bring your left knee up so that it's directly over your hip. And then travel from side to side. Again, noticing the sensations from yesterday. So the right foot is staying on the floor, and I have a sense of really, just allowing it rock from side to side. There's sensation in the right leg. There's sensation in the left leg. Nice, and then come back to center. Arms are wide and flat on the floor. And then just like shimmy your shoulders a little bit, like you're pulling your shoulders down towards one shoulder down towards your hip, and then the other shoulder down towards your hip. So you have this kind of, your head will be moved by what you're doing. It's a bit like a coordination lying on the floor. So exaggerate that movement by squeezing your hip up towards the shoulder that's moving down. And you don't have to move your head will be moved by what you're doing. So one side is lengthening, the other side is shortening. One side is lengthening, the other side is shortening. So that's left to right. Now we're going to look at forward and backwards. So bring both arms up towards the ceiling and then lift both shoulders up and then pull and anchor, kind of plug your shoulders into the floor. Reach your shoulders up, plug your shoulders into the floor. And as I reach my fingers up, my shoulders up, my spine pushes backwards. And as I pull my shoulders backwards, my spine moves forwards. So notice how your spine is moving in the opposite direction from your arms. So as your arms go back, your spine goes forward. As your arms go forward, your spine goes back. And just find a bit of a flow with that. And notice that your whole rib cage is moving as well. And begin to exaggerate that movement of your rib cage. So when I pull my shoulders back, I'm going to arch my back. And when I reach my fingers and shoulders forward, I'm going to flatten my back. So now I have this sense of a choo-choo train or something. There's something really interesting about my focus is on my arms, but my spine is moving as I do this. Nice. Drop your arms down, pause. Let that rest in your system. Nice. So we're going to try one shoulder only. So both arms up towards the ceiling. Just lift one shoulder off the floor, but plug the opposite one in and then down. So plug one shoulder down, reach the other up. So have the sense of Yeah, one shoulder reaching, and I'm rolling over as I do this. But my head, I'm still looking at the ceiling as I do this. So, how would I exaggerate this movement? Like, what's the maximum movement of ribs that I could find here? So, as I lift my arm up, I'm trying to lift my ribs as high as I can on that side. When I land my shoulder down, I'm trying to pull my ribs onto the floor. So reach up, ribs lift, pull down, ribs land. And this movement here, we're trying to really connect to our ribs and how they move off the floor and then back down onto the floor. So off the floor, on the floor, off the floor, on the floor. So it's like a choo-choo train again. I always feel like a choo-choo train. Nice. Drop, rest, pause. Wow, I can feel loads of movement in my torso, in my shoulders, in my spine. I'm really going to let that settle. It's like information passing through my nervous system, and I'm allowing it to integrate. Breathe into your belly, let that settle. Nice. So lift both legs up towards the ceiling. Oh no, keep both feet on the floor. And then just tilt your right pelvis off the floor, right bum off the floor, and then tilt your left bum off the floor. My thighs are staying center. So I'm not rocking my knees from side to side. I'm like walking my pelvis up on one side and then up on the other side. I'm just interested. How do I lift as high as I can using my ribs and my belly? And then how do I land on the floor? Lift, land, lift, land, lift, land, and just feel. I feel like my back is like a foot that's landing onto sand. Lift, land. Okay, let's try lifting with our legs up towards the ceiling. So try and lift your right hip off the floor. Notice how you're plugging your right shoulder down. Try and lift the left hip off the floor. So begin to walk your legs towards the ceiling, lifting right hip, lifting left hip, and notice how automatically you're plugging that back, same shoulder into the floor to lift. Lift, 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 lift. This one was really, I don't know about complicated, but it just feels really like hard to really work out what's happening. Like how do you notice what your shoulders are doing while your pelvis is trying to lift one side and lift the other? Nice. Both feet to the floor. Pause. Let that settle. Nice. So moving from yesterday, lift both legs up in the air, bend your knees. Bring your right thigh all the way down to the floor and then bring your left knee. I'm going to do this sideways. I think it's easier. Right thigh all the way down to the floor with your knee bent and bring your left knee to center and hold on to your left knee with your left hand. And now draw your right knee up and drop your right knee out. First few times, you're going to meet the deep work we did yesterday, and then we're going to continue strengthening into the inner thigh and groin. The further to the left your left knee is, the harder this movement is. So really choose your distance. You maybe bring your left knee more to the right, it'll ease it off, or bring your left knee more to the left, and that'll increase it. Nice. Other side. So bring your left thigh all the way down, let it land on the floor. My pelvis has lifted on the right. Hold on to my right knee in the center, and now let your left leg travel in and out. And there's a moment where I lift my right hip really actively off the floor to give myself leverage as I tilt my pelvis to get my left leg down. Just feel that. Where is that tilting pelvic knee leverage happening from? Nice, come back to center. Cool. So drop your right thigh down to the side, bring your left knee back to center, And then try and pull your left knee towards your chest. And so this is one of those ones that has this kind of stuck feeling to it. You're meeting deep bone. So the bones of your pelvis, the bones of your hip. And so then the movement that you're trying to do now is, how do I get my ribs and the back of the left pelvis closer to the floor? So it's like, how do you give weight to the back of your hip? And it's not like you're going to move very far, but it's more, how do I move rather than travel forward towards the knee? How do I sink and deepen backwards towards my pelvis? Nice. Drop your right knee over, left knee over towards the right, all the way over. So my two knees are close together. And now reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. Okay. Pull your left shoulder back. Reach your left arm up. Pull your left shoulder back. Reach your left arm up. So this time, next time you do it, you're going to lift your head off the floor as well, and then drop your shoulder. Lift your head, drop your shoulder. And as I do this, I'm trying to notice rib cage lifts on the left, rib cage lands on the left. So what's landing on the left rib cage as you do this? And can you get more and more of your rib cage to land? One more time. Super. Arms are wide. Just pause there. Really give weight to that left shoulder. Breath is in your belly. Pause. Arms are wide. Left shoulder is really dropping and sinking backwards. You're imagining your left ribs are pulling backwards and that your left hip is trying to come to the floor. It's not going to move, but just give it that sense of weight and volume backwards. Nice. Come back to center. So drop your left thigh down to the side. And then from here, pull your right knee up towards you. So my left leg is on the floor, knee is bent. And now I'm trying to pull the right right knee towards me. And as I do this, it feels really like bony. I feel the bones of the right hip, the right acetabulum, the pubic bone, the pelvic crest or the iliac crest at the back that's resting on the floor. It's all bony stuff, okay? But how do I give weight to the back of my right hip and to the back of my right ribs? So I'm sinking backwards and melting backwards. How do you melt and give some space backwards? Nice. Over to the right knee, all the way over to the left. Reach your right arm up. And then just pull your shoulder back and reach your shoulder up. So I'm just trying to plug. This side for me, I can't quite get to the floor. It's like, oh, I can't quite get to the floor here. But that's okay. Just feel it's just about, my jumper is just about touching the floor. Now lift up so you're rolling a bit over onto the left side, your head lifts, and then plug your shoulder back. So now my rib cage is lifting, and now my rib cage is dropping. Lifting and dropping. One more time. Lifting, dropping, drape your arm wide. Really settle into that deep, heavy right shoulder. Chest is opening, ribs are lengthening. Breathe into your belly. And again, here, how would you give more and more weight backwards into the back of that right shoulder? Even like I feel the sense of like little threads or elastic bands pulling the back of my waist, the back of the pelvis towards the floor on the right. So I have this energy of, rather than following my knee to the left, I have this internal sense of weight and melting to the right with my weight. Nice. Come back to center. Super duper. And then just roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. Just roll. Sinking into it. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Roll into your ankles. And then roll in the other direction. Bend your right knee in. Lower the left leg down. We're going to move for a bit. Those deep resistance. It's very nice to move. Lower the right leg down. Just do that a few times, creating length, openness. As I lower my leg down, I meet the deep of the front of my right hip. As I lower my other leg down, I meet the deep of the front of the other hip. Nice. Cool. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart. Rock from side to side. Nice. And then when you're here, come back to center and just give your back of your body weight as you pull your feet towards your belly. Really sinking into the weight of your pelvis. So the analogy I like here is the four corners of my torso. My two shoulders are moving back. It's like the points of my shoulders are sinking. And then my 2 points of my pelvis, the two sit bones, are trying to sink back. But I'm not arching my back to get them back. I'm keeping my mid back, the lower back steady, but I'm just giving them weight. So my shoulders are heavy and my pelvis is heavy and my breath is in my belly. So how do you give more and more weight into the back of your body? Nice, cool. So roll over and just come up into a seated position. So we're going to do 3 different versions of pigeon. Okay, so your legs are wide, you're sitting up tall. So the first version of pigeon is that you roll over and you bring your 2 arms down towards the right side. Okay, and so bend your knees enough that your knees are comfortable. You just over here towards the right, your elbows are down and your knees are slightly bent. Okay, so we're lying down over that right hip and our knees are bent. Just breathe into that. As always, if your knees are uncomfortable, then just bring your hands to the floor and you're just over here towards the right. Legs are straight if you wish, knees are slightly bent. See what's right for you. Knees are always a bit tricky with the pigeon. First version of pigeon, other side. So come over towards the left, either 2 hands to the floor, feet are dropping down towards the left. Maybe knees are slightly bent, maybe elbows are down. You're just over here on the left side, breathing. How would you give the weight of your belly down into your hip? How would you sink your hip deeper into the floor? Nice, so then come all the way back. Next version is zigzag. So bend both knees deeply and then come rest over towards the right. So if you want to return to the last version, which is your legs are a bit straighter, then do that. Or if you want to do something else, a twist or a seated twist or something, find something that you feel well and wholesome in. Or come into a zigzag and lean down your belly towards the right thigh. Let your weight sink into the hip, into the buttock. It's really quite amazing. I think, pigeon is so divisive. I think divisive is the word. Some people like Catherine, Ali, Marie, you just love pigeon. Oh my God, you just love pigeon, okay? And then there's people who hate pigeon. It's very clear. Over to the other side, zigzag over towards the left. And so if you hate pigeon, then don't do pigeon. If you love pigeon, then enjoy. And so finding the ways that you move in wholesomeness. And there's this, there's that really strange and weird line between, am I not meeting this because it's kind of uncomfortable and I don't really want to do uncomfortable? Like it's the washing machine thing. Do you not pull out your washing machine because you don't want to meet the dirt that's back there? Or is it that actually for my wellness, it's not good for me to do this movement? Really finding out which one is which. So either staying here, rolling into your belly, stopping pigeon completely, or come into a deeper pigeon. So come into the zigzag, bring your hands either side of that right knee, and then lean into your pigeon. So rocking into a pigeon, I always think, is a really nice way of coming into it. You can tuck your back toe under, lengthen your back leg, come up onto your fingertips, and just lengthen up through your belly into your hip. As always, you're listening to your right knee. Your right foot is engaging into the floor. You have this sense of weight down through your pelvis. So again, listen, is this you meeting something that's really interesting, or is this you hurting your knee? Decide what you need to do around movement. Nice. Come back. Other side. So both legs are straight. Come over towards the left side. Bend both knees into pigeon. Rock into your pigeon and lengthen your back leg. Lift your back knee up and down. Draw up through the belly. Just feel the length of you. Nice. Come all the way down. Come land on the floor. All the way down. Land on the floor. Lengthen your legs up. And just roll into your ankles. Mine are popping and groaning a little bit there. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. Bend your knees. Straighten your legs. Bend your knees. Straighten your legs. And then just do butterfly knees for a few moments. So your toes are touching and your knees are widening. Oh, I can feel the inner thighs from yesterday and today there. Twang. So go slowly as you move. And then roll in the other direction. Oh yeah, you really can feel your inner thighs in this one. All that lengthening and strengthening we've been doing. Both feet to the floor, rock from side to side. Nice. And then stretch your legs out long and come to rest. Pause, let the weight of you rest into the floor. Settling, deepening, softening. Really pause. How do you sink your weight? How do you fall through your shoulders, fall through your pelvis, settle through your belly? Nice. Went slightly longer today. Nice, guys. Yeah, that was very nice. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Day 23 of practice. So yeah, how's it been practicing through the month of January for you? Nice. I'll see you tomorrow. Lovely to be here. Reminder, wellness starts on the 1st of February. And yeah, I have really great plans for February. Yeah, I was working away yesterday. La 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 la. It's very excited. So yeah, the idea is that I'll share tips and tricks that I'm always sharing with my clients. Like I'm always saying, oh, it'd be great for that. Oh yeah, I have an idea. And so those things I'm gonna share with you. So great. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Be well, be awesome, be you, and yeah, ciao ciao.